Hello everyone, Ben Wood here with another falconry video. I'm up here in the mountains today with Sundance the hare hawk, and he's just chilling around, he's flying, and we're looking for snowshoe hares. Because we had fresh snow, and there's a lot of snowshoe hare tracks. There are a lot of snowshoe hares in this area. I've seen them all summer, and now we're here in November, and they're hard to find. Can't find them, but their tracks are everywhere. But it got me remembering a story that got me into falconry, that got me into birds of prey. When I was a kid, when I was a young child, very young, I went with my mom and dad and some aunts and uncles to the mountains. They had a permit to get a fir tree, one of these, not a pine, a fir, for a Christmas tree. And I remember I had snow pants on and I was all bundled up and just, the snow was so deep. And I remember it was deathly silent. Absolutely silent, because all the snow was absorbing the sound waves of anything. So it was just, when it's so quiet, it starts to mess with your ears. If you weren't moving, it was just like oppressively quiet. And all of a sudden, one of my uncles saw a bird of prey, whatever that was, and he's like, "Look, there's a bird of prey, let's go see it." And they start running after it, and I was kind of left behind in the snow. And so I just kind of start wandering around, looking around, and I came around a corner, and there on the ground was a female adult northern goshawk, slate gray, beautiful colors, beautiful slate gray, blood red eyes. The older they get, the more red the eyes get on a northern goshawk, North American goshawk. And this was an old seasoned bird, and blood red eyes. And it was mantling, wings out, mantling aggressively over a snowshoe hare that had killed. Big old huge snowshoe hare, just boom, got right in the snow. And it was just mantling, and it looked up at me and it went, "Wah!" and I was stunned, and it took off, and it flew straight up to a horizontal branch that was right above me. And it just sat there cacking at me, and I looked down below, and there's this giant snow white rabbit in the snow white snow with all this blood that it had bled out, and then the blood red eyes of the goshawk. It was intense. It was a powerful experience for me. It was beautiful and horrific at the same time. The raw beauty and the majesty and the violence of nature. But it stuck with me. I think a lot of times if you see a powerful animal figure of any kind up close, it impacts you. It impacts people's minds and their hearts. It does something. And that did something to me, just seeing this goshawk and just being that close. I just came around a corner, and obviously it heard me coming, and it was mantling. It was like, "No, don't take my kill," because it can't fly off with that. There's no way a goshawk's going to fly away with something as heavy as a snowshoe hare. And so, I just, dumb kid, came around the corner. There's this goshawk, and I still remember it to this day. Just seeing, the fury, the power in its blood red eyes, and then just the power of it to take off completely vertically, just to this horizontal branch up above, and it was incredible. And just a simple thing. And then when the rest of the family came back over, they're like, "Ben," I yelled out to him, and then the hawk flew off, and I'm sure it came back later on and ate its kill. But that stuck with me, and it has my whole life. And goshawks, they're one of my favorite birds. But just to see that, to see nature, to see, guess what? Without death, there is no life. In nature, predators hunt to survive, and prey fights to survive itself. And this is the dance, life and death, death and life. This is this whole circle. It's natural, it's horrific, and it's beautiful at the same time. And that just has always left an impression with me. And that was my catalyst. That was what opened my brain as this little kid to birds of prey, raptors. Wow, they're a thing. They're out there. They're amazing. They could just be right here. Now I know there's raptors everywhere. I mean, just driving up here to the mountains today, I saw, 3 merlins, a couple kestrels, and 4 or 5 red-tailed hawks. And it's like, yeah, raptors are all around us, but they're still powerful symbols of the wilderness. And so I just wanted to share that story, because for me, it was a really cool experience, and just wanted to share it. That's what got me started years ago as a tiny little kid. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this little story from my past, from back in the 1900s. And as always, happy hawking.